Hello, everyone, and welcome to the LFC transfer room with myself, Louis. I hope you all had a wonderful Christmas. I know that I certainly did. Bit of a shame that we didn't get the game on Boxing Day against Leeds. It was postponed due to a COVID outbreak amongst the Leeds squad. However, we do have a video for you today, and in the build-up to the final days of 2021, I thought what a good way to kick off this final week than with a good old list. Hopefully we'll have a few more of these to come as we reflect back on what's been a somewhat turbulent but also somewhat brilliant year for Liverpool, bouncing back from a horrendous injury crisis in the 2021 season. And we now go into 2022 with a lot of hope, some brilliant new players coming through. And this just seems like a perfect time to sort of recap that, have a look at some of these players. So in today's video, we'll look at 5 most improved players for 2021. So that is just for the year 2021. So that will include the back end of last season and, of course, all the games up until the end of this year. So strap yourselves in and let's get into it. So this list will be not in order. I'll just be listing 5 players who I think are our most improved. If you've got any other suggestions or anyone you think was the most improved, feel free to put that in the comment section below, and we can have a little discussion about it and see who agrees with me or who has a completely different take. But these are mine and mine alone. So my first pick was Diogo Jota, one of our most improved players. He came in off the back of our title-winning season. Everyone was full of hope, and we weren't too sure about. I think a lot of people weren't too sure about this transfer. Could go either way. He hadn't necessarily shown he could be world class at Wolves, but he was certainly a decent option to have, and that's something that we didn't necessarily have before. But as I said, that season where he came in was ruined by the injury crisis. He wasn't quite able to show his absolute best. Coming into the 2021-22 season, however, he's really stepped up a notch, and not even just because we've got all the players back, which allows him to play a more attacking game, but also you can see quite clearly he's picked up on things that Firmino does in that attacking role, the number 9 role. Obviously doesn't play it the same way. He's not an out-and-out false 9. Again, slightly more attacking, but if you look at heat maps comparing him with Mane and Salah, he actually does a lot of work all over the pitch, which you might not necessarily see in the games. But besides his work rate, the most important thing, his stats. His goals and assists this season have been, without Mo Salah stealing the limelight, quite incredible. The amount of headers that he scores, which I've said multiple times on watch-alongs, the amount of headers that he scores for a 5-foot-something striker, not particularly imposing looking, but he always finds himself in the right places in the box, and that's something that we've missed previously. So on top of just being a good goal scorer, he is adding new dimensions to our team that give us options, not just a like-for-like replacement for Firmino, but something else that we can offer for different opponents. And so to see the progress that he's made absolutely has to be in my top 5 lists for our most improved players. Now, moving on, we have a couple of young guns in this list, first of which is Tyler Morton. Now, I know he's only played a few games. However, I think Tyler Morton, I was a bit skeptical at first, all the hype surrounding him. He looked tidy on the ball in his first couple of appearances, but I just thought, there's no point getting excited. We've seen this before with a Jordan Rossiter, a Ben Woodburn. They look good when they're making their debut and they're full of energy and they're super excited and they're just told to relax and just go play your natural game kind of thing. But Tyler Morton has clearly shown enough that Klopp has entrusted him with big games such as AC Milan, Tottenham, and the quarter-final against Leicester, which wasn't one of his best performances, absolutely not. But he's clearly earned the trust of his manager and he's gotten starts where he didn't necessarily have to start him. I know that we've had injury troubles in midfield this season, but there were still other options to Tyler Morton, and Klopp chose to go for him. So for that reason, absolutely deserves to be in this list for me, and I look forward to what else he can achieve going into 2022. Third on my list, and remember, they're not in order, It's just random. It's Harvey Elliot. We haven't seen him for a few months now after that horrific ankle break he sustained against Leeds back in September or October time. However, he should be back in January, and I think I speak for all Liverpool fans when I say that's very exciting to have him going into the back end of the season. Really refreshing football player, really smart on the ball. Doesn't necessarily have the pace to play as a winger, so I think that's why Klopp's probably put him on that right-sided 8 role in the midfield. And seeing him at the start of the season playing with Trent and Salah, he looked absolutely at home, and I can't wait to see that trio on the right side develop, as well as Harvey Elliott's game develop, as he's still only a teenager, very, very young, and he already looks like a massive prospect up there with some of the top young players in Europe. And number 4 on my list is Ibrahima Konate, our newest signing, our only signing from the summer just gone. And a lot of people have been keen to jump on his back in his first few performances. I didn't think he was setting the world on fire at the beginning of his Liverpool career when he got a couple of starts here and there, but I think we first saw the real potential of him in the Man United game. Again, a little bit inconsistent, had a few troubles in games after that. However, in the last month or so, we've seen him on a lot more regular basis, and it's really evident to me, at least, why we went out and signed him. He looks fantastic. And again, he's only in his very early 20s, nowhere near his prime, a lot of space to develop. And who else better to develop with than Virgil van Dyke, the best centre-back in the world at the moment. The thing that stood out most to me about him is his ability as a stopper. And by that, I mean the centre-back who steps out of position, steps forward to block counter-attacks before they can even get off the ground. Somewhat, rather than a sweeper, think of it more as a forward sweeper. So instead of sweeping behind the line, he's sweeping in front of the line. If Harry Kane or someone drops deep to collect the ball somewhere, Konate will follow them in, and more times than not, he'll make the interception or he'll block the pass. And it's really exciting to see how well he reads that, and he can only get better. And last but not least, and to be honest, even though the rest of this list hasn't been in order, he probably is my most improved, but do let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments, and that is Kostas Tsimikas. I think alongside Diogo Jota, he joined at what turned out to be a very bad time. He was forced to sit on the bench for 95% of last season purely because Klopp just couldn't risk trying to embed a brand new player into his system when we were already missing so many first team regulars. So he was forced to wait. He waited for his chance. And this season, he's come in looking very bright. Although he's still not our first choice left back, what he has provided is immense competition for Andy Robertson. And that has forced him to raise his game to a whole new level. At the end of the 2020-21 season, he was looking a bit shaky. Start of this season as well wasn't at his best for whatever reason. However, Kostas Tsimikas came in when he was injured and suspended, has played phenomenally well, delivering excellent balls into the box and earning that nickname, the Greek Scouser, for his pure determination. Even though that's sometimes he's having to run like a maniac to get the ball back out of his own mistakes, but we all make them, so that's fine. Although he's not in the starting 11 as Klopp's first choice left back, what he has done is pushed the left back position back up to the best it can be in this Liverpool squad. He's raised his game and has absolutely forced Andy Robertson to raise his, and now whichever one of them start, I'm very comfortable that they're going to put in an 8, 9, 10 out of 10 performance week in, week out. And so for that reason, he is probably my most improved player of 2021. Again, if you agree or disagree with anybody in this list, here's just an opinion. Please let us know down in the comments section. Who's your most improved player? Is there anyone I've missed out who you think should definitely be up there? Is Kostas Tsimikas your number one? If he isn't, who is? Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel and drop this video a like as well at LFC Transfer Room. Go and follow us on Twitter as well under the same handle at LFC Transfer Room for all of your Liverpool and Liverpool transfer related news. We do post-match, pre-match reaction. We do watch-alongs on this channel. We do all the tactical analysis of our upcoming opponents. And of course, we have all of the Liverpool transfer news from the most reliable sources. So thank you very much for watching. Please do subscribe and stay tuned for more. And we'll see you in the next video.